What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. On the last part, we got to see the conclusion to the Cell Saga, with Gohan accessing a brand new power that he didn't have before. No Super Saiyan 2 this time around, instead, he was able to combine the power of Super Saiyan and Kaioken, creating Super Kaioken. That gave him the boost they needed to defeat Cell. Oh, we also got to see Gotenks in the last part too. You know, the guy who's factually the best fusion. With this part, we'll be going into the Buu Saga. For this video, let's set a like goal of 3,000 likes. Once we hit that, I'll continue with another part of this series. Anyways, let's pick up from here. Following the Cell Saga, Gohan realizes the power of Kaioken. He's dabbled with it a bit before, but this is different. His experience fighting Cell with it was a really different one. It gives him a brand new perspective on the form that he didn't even realize. Super Kaioken is pretty draining, but if he tries to practice it with it more, he could potentially create a really strong technique for himself, one that's really only exclusive to him. Well, at least at the moment. Vegeta also is trying to use Kaioken after seeing Gohan use it. Vegeta consulted with Piccolo and Gohan to see if they could teach him some more about it. They are the two with the best grasp on it after all. And maybe, if he learns it for himself, he could be the strongest Saiyan here. He'll have his own Super Kaioken. Yes, that's perfect. Speaking of Piccolo, he also started training with Kaioken more and more. He's had it for a while but hasn't really touched it too much. But when you think about it, Kaioken works really well for him. Kaioken will literally tear your body apart if you use it too much. But you know who that won't be a problem for? A Namekian. Someone that can easily regenerate. Piccolo will be able to use this to his advantage. And with his Namekian physiology, he'll actually be able to counter the negative downsides of Kaioken. Sure, it's not like he could use it infinitely, but still, it's better than what Gohan or even Vegeta would have when they try to use it. This actually allows Piccolo to keep up with the group, instead of falling behind like most of the other fighters do in Dragon Ball. Kaioken will keep Piccolo relevant in this scenario, especially going forward as he practices more and more with it, getting it to higher and higher levels that no one even knew was possible, especially King Kai. He and Gohan continue this training with Kaioken, with Vegeta trying to tag along time to time to learn it more for himself. Eventually this leads to Vegeta getting Super Kaioken over the 7-year time skip, and he quickly learns that it was kind of a mistake. Well, not entirely. It is really powerful, but when he uses it, he instantly feels drained. He's gonna have to practice with it a lot more. It's not like surpassing Super Saiyan like Goku and Chi-Chi are trying to do. After the Cell Saga, they realize that it might be best to try and surpass Super Saiyan if they can. There's probably a level beyond what they have now, a way to get even stronger with the same form, a potential Super Saiyan 2 maybe. They're not entirely sure, but they're gonna train for it. Worst case scenario, they get stronger and don't get a new form, which is still a plus. But if their theory is right, they could potentially get a lot stronger than before. And while we're kinda on the topic of Vegeta, let's talk about his grudge for a bit. He still does hold that grudge towards Chi-Chi. Obviously he's suppressed it by now and kinda gotten over it, but it's still there a little bit. He can't help but think, first of all, why was that a secret for so long? Why did they never tell him about that? And second of all, why did Chi-Chi even do that in the first place? Why wish to be a Saiyan? Well, he knows why. Being a Saiyan would make her way stronger than being a human. Think about it. But he also views it as being cheap, and kinda disrespectful in a way. Obviously he can't articulate why, but he just feels that. He obviously keeps this to himself though, not really mentioning it over the 7 years or bringing it up at all. But once those 7 years are over, we get to the World Tournament. And wouldn't you know it, Goku's actually alive this time. I mean, regardless, he was going to participate. As for the roster, well, we don't really need to cover it. Really, the only change is that instead of 18, there's Chi-Chi. And to be fair, the tournament isn't really the highlight of this arc. That would obviously be the Buu Saga. The tournament starts out pretty normal. There's not really much that would change here, even with Chi-Chi being a Saiyan. So everything up to Gohan's energy getting stolen will pretty much be the same. The group flies over with Shin and Kibito, trying to find where Babidi and his people are stationed. Dabura notices everyone arriving, and this is both good and bad. Good because they have a lot of potential people to get energy from here. Bad because, well, there's too many people. It's nice to have all this energy, but if they stop you from getting that energy, it's not really worthwhile. Before he makes a move, he's gonna have to think of a really smart plan for this. He needs something that'll allow him to get the edge. He has one opportunity for a sneak attack. Instead of going to kill Kibito, he has a better idea. He jumps up and spits at random, hitting Goku and Vegeta. Before they even realize it, the two Saiyans are turned into stone, and that only leaves Piccolo, Chi-Chi, and Gohan to fight. And Krillin, I guess, but he doesn't want to do anything. But he is there, which that counts for something. Dabura then flies into the ship with the 3 other fighters chasing after him, as well as Shin and Kibito, unsure of what to do next. And obviously, the first 2 fighters in the ship aren't too hard to fight. Pui Pui and Yakon, they're no big deal. Dabura is the main course. But the group's not going to fight him one-on-one. If they really want to make this quick and preserve energy, they're going to have to fight him all together. But still, they gotta make sure not to go overboard, otherwise Babidi will get his energy. But with the 3 of them, they may be able to overpower him and kill him. Actually, as soon as they start fighting, they realize that even Gohan alone might be able to handle this. Dabura is comparable to Cell after all, and who killed Cell? Gohan tells him to stand back as he goes into Super Kaioken. Dabura realizes that Gohan's gonna overpower him, but in order for their plan to work, they need Dabura alive. They need to keep at least one of the people turned into stone. Dabura powers up and gets ready to fight back, but also makes a surprising maneuver. He retreats. He wants this to be a distraction. Only Gohan ends up following him just like he wanted. Piccolo and Chi-Chi stay back with Shin and Kibito. But as Dabura flies away, Babidi asks him to do something. Release one of the people from the stone, the one with the really spiky hair. Wait, they both have spiky hair. Okay, well, release the shorter one. Oh, that guy, yeah. Dabura releases Vegeta from the stone, wondering why Babidi would want to do that, but he trusts his plan. Babidi actually has a really good idea in mind. Sure, it would be great to have two of them stay as stone, but what would be even better is have one of them turn into his servants. Vegeta actually seems like he might be able to be possessed. And imagine if he had that kind of power on his side instead of it just being there doing nothing. Babidi begins looking into Vegeta's mind, trying to figure out if there's anything he can exploit. Oh, it seems like he has a lot of pent-up anger. There's so much in Vegeta's mind that makes him, well, Vegeta. Not just him wanting to go back to the way he was, but also his grudge against Kakarot and Chi-Chi. Vegeta actually gives them to Babidi like he does normally, creating Majin Vegeta. No one knows what's happening so far because they're still inside the ship, but suddenly Vegeta enters. He's in Super Saiyan and he looks a bit different. He has an M on his forehead and he looks like he's wearing eyeshadow or something. Why does Vegeta have makeup on? But Shin realizes what happened. He's been possessed by Babidi, and Vegeta has one main target right in front of him, Chi-Chi. Piccolo's willing to help her fight, but she says that she needs to handle this on her own. Shin agrees. If Piccolo joins the fight, that just gives more energy to Babidi. So now the entire group is spread out. It's Piccolo with Shin and Kibito, Chi-Chi fighting Majin Vegeta, and Gohan fighting Dabura. Shin hopes that they can defeat Dabura and Majin Vegeta, because otherwise Babidi will definitely get his energy. Going over to Dabura for a bit, he's just trying to bide for time. He knows that if Gohan catches up, he'll win. If that happens, that'll release Goku from the stone, meaning that their group wins. It's all hinging on Dabura being alive. Using his own magical abilities and strength, he's trying to hold Gohan off in any way possible, manipulating the landscape around him to try to slow him down, keeping himself hidden, stuff like that. As for Chi-Chi and Vegeta, their fight begins. She wonders why he actually let himself be possessed. Shin assumed that was the case, and she believes it too. What made him do this? Vegeta says it's not important. He's focused on the fight. He's gonna beat her once and for all, proving his superiority as a Saiyan, showing he's stronger than both her and Goku. It's time to finally settle this with an all-out battle. Vegeta powers up, showing a brand new technique of his. A red aura appears around him, as his power soars. Just like Gohan, he now has access to Super Kaioken, and this actually makes him a really formidable opponent. But luckily, Chi-Chi also has something up her sleeve, something that she was hiding. She also powers up. Sparks of electricity surround her. Her energy soars, and her hair gets even spikier than it was before. Chi-Chi introduces Vegeta to Super Saiyan 2. Wait, there's a way to go beyond Super Saiyan? He doesn't care though. Super Kaioken is much stronger, and even though it's draining, he has the advantage. And their fight begins. Immediately Chi-Chi knows she's outmatched. But for a certain reason, she doesn't back down. She knows there actually might be a way out of this. As long as she lets Vegeta keep fighting, he'll run out of energy. He's relying too much on Super Kaioken. Of course she knows the draining effects of it. Gohan's her kid after all. And she knows if she lets Vegeta draw it out, he'll end up injuring himself too much and losing too much energy, which will then give Chi-Chi the advantage. Just like Dabura, she's biding for time right now. As Gohan chases Dabura then ends up running into someone. It's Shin, Kibito, and Piccolo. Shin teleported all of them to that area, deciding that it might be best to get involved. Even though it might give more energy to Babidi, it's their best chance at stopping this quickly. This catches Dabura off guard and gives Gohan a chance to attack. And with a single blast, he erases Dabura, killing him instantly. Now they need to get to where Chi-Chi is. And as they try and come up with a plan, they sense another energy approaching rapidly. Actually, it's not coming towards them. It's going to where Chi-Chi and Vegeta are. They know what energy it is now. It's Goku. After killing Dabura, he's been freed from the stone, and he's heading over to help Chi-Chi as quickly as possible. Vegeta's surprised by a kick to the back of the head, turning around as he sees Goku standing there in Super Saiyan. Goku looks over to Chi-Chi. Oh, she's already using Super Saiyan 2. There's no point in him hiding it either, and instantly he powers up into his own Super Saiyan 2. This only serves to piss Vegeta off more and more. Goku's not interested in talking right now. He and Chi-Chi need to end this fight as quickly as possible. That's the priority. Vegeta powers up more and more, pushing Kaioken to his limits. Right now he's in ×4, but he goes up to ×10, feeling pained as he does so, and Goku and Chi-Chi notice this. This is their shot at victory. The two team up and fight Vegeta, and quickly they're able to dismantle his defenses. Vegeta's strength is fleeting, and instead of getting stronger, he's getting weaker and weaker, allowing the two of them to land a final attack, knocking Vegeta unconscious, and as they do so, Shin teleports over with his group. Glad to see the results. Good, they're able to stop both Dabura and Vegeta. Shin can work his magic and try and actually fix Vegeta, trying to get rid of that possession. So they can reverse everything. All they need to do now is handle Babidi. Things may actually be going their way. Although they're feeling optimistic, Shin then senses something terrifying. No, they were too late. The rest of the group begins sensing it as well. An overwhelming evil presence is nearby. Alongside Babidi's presence, they rush back over to the ship, expecting the worst case scenario, and they find exactly that. The ship is completely gone. It's just a massive crater in the ground. Babidi is standing there with a smile, greeting everyone. Piccolo launches a quick blast at him, but Babidi immediately throws up a shield. Even if Piccolo did succeed at killing Babidi, that wouldn't even matter. He just chuckles at this. He wants to introduce everyone to his new friend, Majin Buu. That's right, they gave just enough energy to revive him, and now, the terrifying Majin is there, under Babidi's control, ready to fight everyone. The group doesn't really know how to react, except Goku. He immediately goes into a fighting stance, ready to battle, powering up in his Super Saiyan 2, holding nothing back, and he tells the group, there's no point in suppressing your power now. Now's their chance to show off the fruits of their training. Alongside Goku, Chi-Chi powers up in his Super Saiyan 2. Gohan's in Super Saiyan, but he stacks Kaioken on top of it. He's reached a point where he could use Kaioken times 2 with relatively little strain, basically equaling Super Saiyan 2 in power. And if he needs, he can increase his power output, although it will be draining. And as for Piccolo, he's practiced with Kaioken so much that he can use it at really high levels, with relatively little strain as well. It's basically his own version of Super Saiyan, powering up into Kaioken times 50, a huge feat that'll really help in the battle. And surprisingly, although he's shaking in fear, even Krillin joins in. And together, the group lunges at Majin Buu. Right now they're just ready to gauge his power. They might actually be able to defeat him, although it doesn't seem too likely. But that doesn't matter though. In the worst case scenario, they do have one thing to rely on, fusion. Although some people didn't learn it from Piccolo yet, they can always find a way to buy it for time and get to the time chamber to learn it. But they might not even need it. Right now they'll just use this, their strength, combined with their perfect teamwork. They come to learn that Buu actually regenerates, and it's nothing like Cell's either. He could do it without any downsides at all, infinitely regenerating and never losing energy. He seems almost unstoppable, but if they power up just to a certain point, they'll be able to defeat him, erasing every little bit of him before he could regenerate. Buu lifts his hands up, performing a massive explosion attack, knocking everyone far away. He grins as he goes towards them. He actually seems like he's having fun, and he's starting to get serious himself. Buu splits himself up into multiple copies, with one to fight each of the fighters, although they're not as strong as the main Buu, but this helps him to stop being outnumbered. Shin and Kibito are there watching, wondering what their next move should be. If they can't defeat Buu, then what are they supposed to do? The group is strong together, but as they watch the battle, they're beginning to realize something. They're also pretty worn out from their own battles. Goku and Piccolo are really the only ones that are uninjured. Chi-Chi had her fight with Vegeta, Gohan had his fight with Deborah, and as for Vegeta, he still needs to be restored back to normal, and obviously needs to regain consciousness before he could help. But Shin's not sure if they could even trust him at the moment, and as the group continues fighting, they only lose more and more stamina, while Buu keeps on going at full power. This might actually be an issue, and with that, we'll leave off this part for now. So, what did you guys think about this video, and what do you think is going to happen next time? Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'll be sure to check them out to see what you guys think. As always, if you liked the video, be sure to drop a like. And let's try to hit that like goal from the beginning of the video so we can get another part of this series. If you haven't already, why not subscribe? As well as hitting the bell icon to get notified about any future parts of this what if, or any other videos that I upload on my channel. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.